Hello there. It's the chairman of the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. And welcome to episode 12 of 2025, where I'll be bringing you my new comic book day recommendations for the week of 19 March. So this week saw 345 new issues and 680 releases overall, which is a massive week in comic books for everyone to enjoy. Now, as always, we're going to be breaking this down by publisher, and we're going to start with Marvel like we always do here at USDN. So let's dive into it. Up first, we have Daredevil, Unleash Hell, Red Band Edition. This is the Peach Momoko cover, and of course, this is written by Erica Schultz. As you can see here, I hadn't had a time to take it out of the poly bag yet. I'll get to that later so I can give it a read. But in this one, a new serial killer is terrorizing New York. With a macabre and miserable fascination with Daredevil, the crime scenes all point to a single terrifying explanation: the return of Muse. But how could that be possible? And what other sick and twisted happenings will follow the killer's return? So this is the Peach Momoko cover. If you ever have a chance, get the Peach cover. You won't regret it. Her covers are always beautiful and very inspired by Japan, where she is from. Daredevil, Unleash Hell. Can't recommend this one enough to you. Moving right along now, we're staying in Marvel. I did pick up a few Marvel titles this week. And up next, we have One World Under Doom, issue 2, written by Ryan North. And this is the Alessandro Capuccio cover. And in this issue, Dr. Doom has taken over the world. The Earth's mightiest heroes have failed twice, once to stop him and now to overthrow him. But the Fantastic Four know Doom better than anyone, which makes them ideally suited to take on Earth's new emperor, except for the fact that Dr. Doom knows them just as well. Really dope cover this week, and I'm really enjoying this story, as you can tell, because this is issue 2. So I will be continuing on with this series. It has been fantastic. One more up from Marvel, I think. Yep, one more. And we're going with Psylocke, issue number 5, written by Alyssa Wong. And this is the NetEase Games Marvel Rivals variant. I thought this was a really dope cover this week. That's why I grabbed this one up. In this one, in the hands of the taxonomist, Psylocke has been poisoned and captured by a deadly new threat. Can she escape the taxonomist's twisted museum alive? And if she does, what will she do to the man who caged her like a butterfly? Really enjoyed this series so far in the introduction to the taxonomist and his living museum. It's been really dope. Have a look at this book. You won't be disappointed, especially if you're a fan of Psylocke. Jumping over to DC now. DC had another huge week with the release of the highly anticipated Absolute Flash. So that is also being written by Jeff Lemire, who is doing all the Absolute series for DC. And I picked up a couple of covers this week, one from Nick Robles and one from Clayton Crane. And this, I believe, is the Clayton Crane foil variant of the Absolute Flash. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but this is a really, really dope cover right here. So what's the premise of this? It's without a mentor, without the family, without the Speed Force, what's left is the absolute Scarlet Speedster. It basically strips the Flash down to the bare bones of what he is, and that's the Flash. No support, no nothing. Similar to how they're doing the other Absolute series, only now it's the Flash's turn. And I can't wait to sit down and actually read this one. I hadn't read any of the other Absolute series, but I figured why not give this one a try? And I can always wait for the trade paperbacks on the other Absolute series, which was always the plan from the beginning. So staying in DC, we're going over to The Question, issue 5, All Alone the Watchtower by Alex Aguirre, Mark Waid, and this is the CN Torme cover. And in this one, The Question stands alone as the Watchtower itself begins to crack, and the strain from being placed on it by the unseen villain. The Question must face an unexpected threat, her own teammates, including Batwoman. But does she have any chance of retaking Justice League headquarters if she's already lost control of those closest to her? As her world collapses, the Question must tap into her inner resolve or risk losing everything. I know we're getting close to the end on this book, but it has been an absolute banger of a story. I've said this before in the past that I like the questions so much because they're not used often. They don't have a regular, reoccurring role in a lot of things. So when they do appear, it's special. And this has been special. And not to mention the fact that it's written by Alex Segura, who I'm a big fan of. So that also led me to picking this book up as well, because I am a big fan of his. And I'm a big fan of the Question because, like I said, they're just not used often. So when they appear and they have their own series, it's something special to me. So the Question. We are staying in DC, and we have Zatanna, Vol 3, Issue 2, by Jamal Campbell. It covers by Jamal Campbell and then David Nakayama. This is the David Nakayama for foil variant. I say this and to say that, similar to Peach Momoko, if it's a David Nakayama cover, pick it up. They are always fantastic covers. But in this one, the Mistress of Magic, haunted by visions of death, in the aftermath of her encounter with the Lady White, Zatanna is left debilitated by a mysterious cursed sword. In the hope of breaking the curse, Zatanna seeks out the hidden connection between it, her missing crewmates, the Lady White, and herself. However, with the magic compromised and her thoughts haunted by visions of death, how long can she keep herself and those around her safe? It's hard to see a foil on here, but this is a beautiful cover by David Nakayama. They also have the non-foil variant, but I'm a sucker for foil. Can't help myself. Zatanna. Going over to Dynamite now, and this one kind of left an impression on me because I watched it on TV as a kid, and I've also gone back and watched a few other episodes on YouTube. And it's the Herculoids Issue 2 by Tom Schnigowski and Joseph Oliveira. This is the Eric Powell cover. And we had Craig Russo and Adrian Garcia on the interior of this book. And following the last issue, Attack on Their Planet at Home, the Herculoids face a new challenge from the depths of Amzot. Behold, the coming of the Mole Men. This, so far, so good. We'll see how this issue goes with it. Again, this is on a issue-by-issue basis. I know it's been planned out for almost a year now in advance. I think he's got 18 months worth of stuff written for this book, so I don't know how long they're going to let it go. But honestly, it's been good so far, so maybe he'll get the full run of it. I hope he does, because it's not too bad. The Herculoids. Where are we at here? Now we're going over to Boom Studios, and we have another very highly anticipated new title this week from them, and it is The Last Boy. And it's written by Dan Panesian, and I got covers from Dan, Goni Motez, Bill Sienkiewicz. Wow, I really just butchered that. But so in this book, and the story is, years after Peter Pan's adventures with Wendy Darling, the boy who wouldn't grow up is now the last one in Neverland, still clinging to his adventurous youth. Meanwhile, in London, Wendy yearns for childhood and its freedom from responsibility as she rails against the transition to adulthood and her family's expectations as their desires create a mirror of fantasy and reality. A disastrous encounter with the agent Captain Hook becomes the catalyst for Peter's realization that Neverland is growing up without him. But will the two of them find each other once again to carry on their age-old adventures, or is this truly the final threshold for their adolescence and the modern take on a classic tale? So this is the Dan Panesian incentive variant cover. Really cool book. I've been really excited to get this one for a while now, and excited to give this one a read. It's just a different telling of Peter Pan, basically. So it's going to be fun. I'm really excited to read this one and dig into it and see what's to come from Dan Panesian. Staying with Boom Studios now, I have issue 3 of When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee. This is a series that I've been really enjoying a lot. It's by Gus Marino, and Jacob Rabolka is doing the interior and the covers on this one. And in this issue, Barrera is introduced to the practices of an obscure theory, prompting question about Stygian's exorcism methods and whether all it is quite what it seems. But before he can dig any deeper into his fellow priestess' practices, their investigation into claims that the dead apprentice has risen take a deadly turn. Really enjoying this series. If you're a fan of exorcisms and stuff in movies like that, you will really enjoy this book as I have. So I can highly recommend you checking this one out. But jumping over to Dark Horse this week, we're going to a galaxy far, far away with Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Volume 3, Issue 16. And this one is written by Daniel Jose Older. This is the Elisa Ramboli cover. In this one, the Battle of Eridu rages on as shocking developments continue to shift the tide of the conflict. A Nihil victory seems all but assured thanks to their overwhelming forces and savage tactics, but will the unexpected arrival of a powerful combatant dash their evil ambitions? The Warden won't give up easily, and he will do anything to defeat the Jedi. So Daniel Jose Older, the guy who wrote this one, is very talented. I really enjoy his writing on Star Wars. So highly recommend checking out any of the High Republic era stuff from Star Wars. You won't be disappointed. There's trade paperbacks out there on them. Pick up some of those. Give them a read. They are some of the best Star Wars stories out there right now. So going over to Oni Press and EC Comics with issue 9 of Epitaphs from the Abyss. This one's written by Christopher Cantwell. This is the Tom Fowler cover. In this issue, EC Comics is here to give you something to really be afraid of. Last night's pulse-pounding nightmare didn't end when you found yourself awake and catching your breath upon sweat-stained sheets. Instead, it's standing in the doorway with rows of razor-sharp teeth with a penetrating gaze that cuts all the way to the darkest heart of the human condition. As they craft this month's epitaphs through gritted teeth and tortured fingers, join wretched writers Christopher Cantwell, Michael W. Conrad, and Brendan Hay, and sadistically styled art from David Lapham and Peter Krause and others as they will as our ghastly futures into brutal reality. This is always fun. 3 stories of horror by different artists, different writers, each one with their own spin, all focused around similar topic. It is always fun to read. Can't recommend this one enough to y'all. EC Comics, Oni Press is doing a fantastic job of Epitaphs from the Abyss. It's very enjoyable for horror fans if you're into horror. So go pick this up. Give it a read. You will not be disappointed in any one of these that you pick up. So staying with Oni Press right now, and we're going to Rick and Morty, Ricklemania, issue number 2, written by Mark Ellerby. And I picked up covers from Mark Ellerby and James Lawrence. And in this issue, the high-flying, elbow-dropping action continues from Mark Ellerby. After Jerry signed an exploitive contract with Pro Energy Drink, Rick and Morty are thrust into the ring on his behalf, and as Rick and Morty dive elbow first into their increasingly dangerous matches, Rick becomes consumed by his new wrestling persona. Meanwhile, Morty's thin skin starts to become a problem, making Rick question, is a 14-year-old boy really up to the task of professional wrestling? So this is just a fun book. Rick and Morty is always fun, whether in comic book form or on TV. Can't recommend this enough. Mark Ellerby is killing it with the comic book. Go pick up Rick and Morty, Ricklemania, or any of the other Rick and Morty titles. They got Spring Breaking going on right now as well, which is really good. Can't recommend this enough to you. So up next, I have Zenescope. And this is going to be their Grimm Tales of Terror 20th anniversary fairy tale pinup special by Joe Bruscia. And the cover is by Pier Luigi Abbondanza. And this is just them celebrating 20 years of this book and celebrating this anniversary with a pinup special. Really dope book. They drop these every now and then. It's always really great art in these by a bunch of different artists around the comic book world. So can't recommend this one enough to y'all. It's always fun. It's lighthearted. So go check that out. Also from this week, I got the Titan comics. We have issue 4 of Heatseeker Combustion, a gun hunting series written by Charles Ardai. So this is the bombastic, high-octane conclusion to the hit miniseries. So this is the last book from the series. A biological weapon that could kill millions, a scientist's daughter who needs to disappear, and heat seeker Dahlia Racers is on the job. But can she beat a beautiful mercenary unable to feel heat, cold, fatigue, or pain? If you're into Pulp Fiction, that noir-esque type of spy game type stuff, you will really enjoy this book. This is the finale, so I'm sure it'll come to trade paperback here soon, most likely. And you can just pick it up as one big volume. So Heat Seeker. Moving right along now, we're jumping over to Image Comics finally, which means we're getting close to the end. So to start off this week in Image Comics, I have issue number 2 of Bug Wars. And this is written by Jason Aaron, and I picked up covers from Mahmoud Assar, who also does the artwork, and I picked up a cover from Yannick Paquette. Issue 1 was outstanding and introduced us to Slade Slaymaker. And in issue 2, he's lost in his own backyard, prisoner of tiny bug-riding warriors known as mites, and in Swarm City, the most dangerous hive in all the yards, Slade will have to learn to unleash his newfound powers or else watch his family die. And this book is exactly what you think it is. It's like Tiny Soldiers meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Really dope concept on this book. I'm really enjoying it so far. Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Assar are doing fantastic on this book. Go check it out now. And I got a feeling this one could turn into a TV series as well, or maybe even a movie. Probably a TV series, but get in on it while it's still the comic book. Moving right along in Image now, we have the finale of The Deviant. And this is written by James Tynion, and this is the Joshua Hitson cover. And this is issue 9. It is the finale of The Deviant. And in this book, 50 years ago, circumstantial evidence was enough to convict the man locked behind bars as the original Deviant killer. Now, as history threatens to repeat itself, Derek will stop at nothing to clear his boyfriend's name because Derek knows the truth behind the Deviant killer, and the new Deviant killer knows that Derek knows. This has been long anticipated book. We haven't seen one in a few months, and really excited to dig into the finale of this book. James Tynion is a fantastic writer, so I know this is going to be top-notch reading material here. So check that out if you can. Moving right along, we got some Ghost Machine this week. I'm always excited when we have Ghost Machine make an appearance, and we got the Rocket Fellers, issue 4 by Peter J. Tomasi. And Francis Manapul did the cover and the art in this book. And in this issue, the Rocket Fellers can't wait to get home to the 25th century, except they can't. They're chased by a bounty hunter hidden in 2025, and befuddlingly fitting into this might as well be ancient society. So this family does what it does best. Dad, Ray, and Rex go on personal adventures while Mom craves a return to the stars. And as for eldest son Richie, his mystery project could be their undoing. Really great book. Fantastic series. Ghost Machine is killing it. Cannot recommend Ghost Machine enough to you. Now making our last stop for the day, we're jumping into the Spawn universe in Image Comics, and we're going to start it out with Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, issue 4, written by Jimmy Palmiotti and covers by Marcel Vargas and Don Aguilo. In this issue, while journeying across the desolate plains, the gunslinger stumbles upon a bizarre carnival filled with oddities and dangers. If he isn't careful, he may end up as the new attraction. This is really fun. Really, I'm enjoying this one. This is before the modern day gunslinger Spawn that we have in the modern timeline. This is basically what happens before any of that. So really fun stuff here. Jimmy Palmiotti is killing it with this series. Going on now to King Spawn, issue 43 by Rory McConville, covers by Marcel Vargas and Mirko Kolak. In this issue, with the return of their powers, various factions of angels and demons have started to reclaim their territories, leaving a trail of bodies in their wake. Spawn aims to put a stop to their expansion once and for all. King Spawn has just been fun. It's just a different I want to say it's the same timeline as the regular Spawn, just different times within that timeline currently. So it's really fun, really cool. Check it out. We're 43 issues deep. You can get the trade paperbacks at any of your local comic book shops. Remind y'all, shop local, shop at your mom and pop shops. Finally, last but not least, I have Rat City coming at us. And it's written by Erica Schultz and covers by Kaivar and Federico Sabatini. Zay Carlos does the interior in this book. And in this issue, Peter's life flashes before his eyes as Amon takes him back to PTS and Dr. Bose. I don't want to give too much away on this because I really want y'all to check this book out. Erica Schultz is the first female writer to do a Spawn series, which is really dope. She's doing a really fantastic job, and I really enjoy this Spawn suit. It's hard to explain, but check it out. She is doing a fantastic job on this book, and what Spawn cover isn't complete without a brooding Spawn on a high building. It's standard issue for Spawn. It's a must-have. You got to have at least a cover like that. So this one is it. Really fun story. Highly recommend y'all checking out Rat City. So that is my recommendations for the week of March 19th. Let us know what you picked up from your local comic book shop down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this, and I enjoyed doing them for you. Look out on my other social media platforms, as I'll be posting the pictures of the other covers that I picked up as well. So what's coming up next? Later today, actually here in about less than an hour, I'll be sitting down with Bruno Catarino once again to discuss his upcoming Kickstarter, Skinematic Figments. This is going to be a 2-book anthology series. I think it's 4 stories in there, or 5. I've had the pleasure of reading them already, and I can tell you that it is edge of your seat, want more story. They are that good. So we'll be sitting down discussing his book later today, and also coming up Friday, we'll be sitting down with Bob Campbell to discuss his new Kickstarter. Issue 2 of a new Kickstarter called Tales of the Illuminatus, which is based off of a book trilogy by the same name. That's surely to be fun because it is a very unique book that they are translating into comic book form. So that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. And also don't forget to share us with your friends. And on behalf of myself and the Council of Nerds, this USDN short is USDN approved. Thank you all, and see you later.